nieces and nephews, welcome back to Auntie No's Kitchen. And to my new nieces and nephews, welcome to the family. But you know, I got to get my housekeeping out the way. Thank you all for all your love and support and your patience to my channel. As you know, guys, many of you, my long followers, but to my new ones, I film on really good days. And I don't want to tire myself out or overuse my hands, or, you know, because that wouldn't be good for Auntie. So anyway, so today we are going to make Auntie's, my berry hokey pokey cake. Basically, it's a chantilly cake with holes in it, okay? Let's just say what it is. But I call it a berry hokey pokey. Okay, so we're going to do a flip and a swip, and we're going to get started. Okay, first, this is you can call it a lasagna pan if you wish. I wanted my cake to be deep, and I like my cakes deep. When I'm puncturing cakes with holes in them, I don't like them thin, I like them deep, okay? And this is just a little small one that has some extra batter. I trimmed the mounds off. If the cake domes, I trim the mound off. It'll make the outcome much better. Okay, so to have this lasagna pan, you're going to need 2 boxes. You see, I date everything, guys. You know, Auntie's, I'm telling y'all, the dating thing is not just an OCD thing. Okay, 2 boxes of vanilla cake mix, and add to this 2 boxes of vanilla instant pudding mix. If you can't get 2 boxes of the 3-ounce vanilla pudding mix, just get that 1 5-ounce box. That would do just perfectly fine. You're going to add, I use 7 eggs when I double the recipe, okay? Doubling the recipe, I use 7 eggs. And I add 3/4 cup of oil. Yes, a 3/4 cup of oil to this. And I add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I also add 1 teaspoon, you know, my cream bouquet. Okay, now, if you're going to make just your standard 9x13 pan, and you don't want it high, you're just going to use 1 box of cake mix. Follow the instructions on the box, with the exception, add, oh, I forgot to tell you about your milk. When you're using 2 of these, to add your milk. I use 4 cups of milk to this. No water. 4 cups of milk. Now, back to what I was saying. You're going to use your standard 9x13 pan. You need 1 box of cake mix, 4 eggs, 1 3-ounce box of pudding mix, 2 cups of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. That's if you're just going to use this 1 box. Okay, we're going to toss that over there for a little housekeeping. Okay, now I have my cake. Now with the berries, you're going to need blackberries. You can add raspberries also. I don't have raspberries. You can blueberries and strawberries. Now you're going to need 1 cup of sugar, and I have here a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch. I'm going to add a little bit of cold water to that, make my slurry. But first, we're going to puree our berries down. Now, do not add water to your berries. Okay. Now, with strawberries, this is the 1 pound package, and I have some more strawberries in the fridge that are I'm gonna slice up to put them on top of the cake. You'll see. And the blueberries, I'm not gonna use all these. I'm gonna save some of these to put on top of the cake. Blackberries, I am going to use all of these because I have some more in the fridge to put on top of the cake. Okay, so we're gonna puree these down. Let me get my handy dandy friend over there, so we can puree our berries down. Okay, as I puree my berries down, I'm going to just add them to the pot, which I am going to need anyway. Okay, I have my berries. I'm going to start, and I have my large tub of whipped topping. That brand works just fine, honey. Okay, I'm going to add some berries. I need to get me a glove. Okay, I'm going to start by my strawberries. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to blend them all together because they're all going into this pot and they're going to be mixed anyway. So I'm going to puree these down. Get that little juicy out of there. Little housekeeping. Gonna parade this down. And we're gonna just parade this on down. Come on, magic bullet. Do your magic. There you go, baby cake. Okay. Got our strawberries. Look there. Got that. We're going to pour this into the pot. As you can see. Ooh. As you can see, I made a mix too. This. Okay. I'm going to get my black. You have to hand inspect blackberries. Always hand inspect your blackberries. Just like you do your blueberries, honey. You got to pick up with blackberry. You need to pick up each blackberry and inspect it, because sometimes they have the leaves attached to them, and you don't want that in your food. You need to inspect each blackberry. And that spill is working on Auntie's nerve. Little housekeeping. Okay, we're going to get our blackberries all parade down. Ooh, that made some good jam. I don't make jam, guys. You know, I should have paid attention. Of all the things my grandmother taught me, I know all of her recipes except that. I didn't learn how to make her preserves, her jellies, or her pickled peaches and her pickled bread and butter pickles. That I should have learned. But I know all her recipes, everything. But those are the things that I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to. And I don't want anyone else's stuff. I just want hers. I'm not quite sure there's some cooks. There's some cooks with just, with really good, skills as well. They could have really good recipes. It's just a sentimental thing. All right, we're parading down our black. Okay. All this, our berries are parade. No more little housekeeping over there. Little housekeeping. Okay, now I'm going to put these over here to the side because I had to save some of those blueberries. And a key ingredient for the chef, iced tea with Splenda. Okay, now I'm going to add my sugar. I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar to this. And I'm going to move this board and we're going to get to cooking. Okay, I just turned the fire on and I'm going to be mixing this together. Handy dandy spoon, mix my sugar in. And blend all my purees together. That's why I say it's not necessary that you have to blend all your berries together. You can blend them separately. Now you can, if you have, you know, I did not feel like bringing out that big processor, that ninja thing. So I just used my magic bullet and I just parade my berries down individually. Because I keep this thing right here in the cabinet that sometimes you just don't want to fool with those big giant appliances. So I'm going to let this come to a boil. Family meeting. Now, if you're using, let me show you the berries. If you're going to just be using one of these blackberries, and you're still going to be using the 16-ounce pack of strawberries, and if you're going to be using a cup and a half of blueberries, or a little small container of blueberries, you add half a cup of sugar. You want the natural flavor of your berries to come through, because if you add too much sugar, you're basically eating a jelly sandwich. Okay? You don't want to overpower your natural berry flavor with sugar, you know, because then it's just like eating a jelly sandwich, and we don't want that. We want the natural flavor of the berries to come through. Okay, now it's boiling. Now to that 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, I added 2. How many is this? I think I added 2 tablespoons of water. I don't know, but it'll look like this. Because really, to be honest, the more cornstarch you add, the thicker it is. And I'm going to turn the heat down so I can bring it down to a simmer. And you see, it's already thickening. And I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to put it over here and let it cool completely. Because it's going to thicken even more when it cools. And I need it to completely cool so it doesn't melt the whipped topping. And the reason why it comes to a boil, because you need to dissolve the sugar. Make sure that sugar is broken down into that syrup. And see, this is what I want. It's not thick like jelly, not even thick like jam. Just thick enough. And this is the consistency you're looking for. And I'll be honest, if I don't use all this, I'm going to put it in a freezer bag. Because I'm gonna be making this again. Because I have 1 bag already of this puree mixture already. And I'm going to need some more. Okay, be back. Hey, now, our topping has cooled off. It's not cold. It's still a little warm, but that's okay. Okay, it's still a little warm. Okay, I'm now going to punch holes with the end of my little tool. These are going to be some kind of big holes. I don't want them that big. Let me go get me a straw. Yeah, this is better. My little frappe straws. You don't want to put them close together, because then you'll break your cake. And you can put as many holes in it as you like. There's no rule of thumb on how many drainage pipes you make. There would be your cake, and you do as you please. There's no rule on your flavor. And if you don't like all those berries, don't use all those berries. Just use the ones you like. You can just use strawberry. You can just use blackberry. You don't have to use all of those berries. You don't offend Auntie. I change recipes all the time. Because when you change a recipe up, it becomes yours. And that's what I'm doing with this. I'm just punching my holes in. Like I said, there's no rule of thumb on how many drainage pipes you make. And I want one. Yep. And I know you probably said, look, like I got a yard full of mole holes. Yeah, this worked out better. Put that over there, little housekeeping. Okay, now we are going to get our sauce, our berry sauce in. And it's going to go in these little holes. No need to worry. And take it to the edge. It's okay, take it to the edge. Let's think about being lefty. Fill your holes up. You definitely want to make sure you get your holes. Okay? You always want to make sure, that's your priority when it comes to your sauce. Getting the holes filled. That's your priority. Getting your holes filled. Getting your little cavities filled. Now you know you're good because you won't see gaps. You will know you're good because you won't see gaps. Now, when I say take it to the edge, you don't have to just make sure these holes are filled. That's what your focus should be on, making sure that your hole cavities are full. And then you can spread it out to the edge like that. And then you wipe that off up there, like auntie. Okay? All right, nieces and nephews. I'm making sure all my holes are filled. And I see this one right here needs a little more attention. Then I see a little edge that was peeping out. Okay, I'm going to do the other one. I'll be right back. Hey, family, I have my reserved blackberries, my strawberries, which I have cut the stem off. I don't know about you guys, but that's just me. I don't like leaving the stems on my berries. I like to cut them off, and I have sliced them in half. And I have my reserved blueberries, and all of my berries are washed and clean. Have to clean that up, little housekeeping. Okay, now we have our whipped topping right here, which we are going to spread nicely onto our cake. And if you make a boo-boo, it's okay. I have 2 of those. I always buy 2. I never buy 1, just in case. I can always, if I don't need it, I can always put it in the freezer, because 10 times out of 10, I'm going to use it up. Anyway, I'm going to eventually use it. So there's no reason for me to, it'll never go to waste. And I do something that's really weird. Sometimes, I just get it and I'll let it sit a little bit. Then so I can scoop me out a spoon, some in a little cup to eat with berries. You don't have this. I can eat with the serving size of this, and it doesn't affect my blood sugar because it's a carb. It's only 2 carbs, and anything under 5 is free. You don't have to count it. So that's why I don't buy sugar free. A lot of the stuff on the market that says sugar free, it's, you come out, you know, better just buying the regular thing. Now I'm not talking about soft drinks and, you know, stuff like that. I do me. All right, look how pretty that is. Ooh, yippee-ki-yay. Okay, now I have this down. Now I'm going to, you don't have to worry about making it all nice and pretty on top. You don't have to go through all of that. Now you're going to put your berries on. I'm going to lay my strawberries down. It's no particular way till you put your berries down. You could do it however way you want. And if you don't use all these berries, that is all right too. You can use as many berries as you want on this recipe. There's no right or wrong way. Oh, that one feel like it was frozen. I thought that was a little soft. A little too softy for auntie. Okay, now I'm going to add some blackberries. Add in one more strawberry here. I'm going to add some blackberries. Well, I guess that's enough blackberries. Leave more for me. Throw down some blueberries. Throw down some nice boot this. And you know, I don't believe it's such thing as a summer cake or winter cake. A cake is a cake year round. If you want a lemon or ice cream cake and it's in the dead midst of winter, hey, make that cake. There's no such thing to me as this is a great summer cake. A cake is a cake. You know, there's no rule of thumb. You know, don't buy into that. Oh, that's a cake you make in the summer. No, a cake is a cake. You make your cake whenever you feel like it. You know, a cake is a cake. They're gonna put a strawberry right here. Break up that family. Okay, that is it. All right, we have our good old berry. I call it my berry hokey pokey cake, okay? My berry hokey pokey, all right? Or some of you call it a poke cake, but I call it hokey pokey. All right, so I'm going to let this sit in the refrigerator a little bit, and then I'm going to slice it so you can see what's on the inside. Okay, we are going to cut into this cake. And scoop out a piece. And I'm going to mess up that beautiful square, which is quite all right. Gotta clean my fingers. Got a mess over here. And got my fruit falling off. Here what it looks like on the inside. Hokey pokey. Now, here is our close-up view, and I'm going to put this back in the fridge because we want to make sure our whipped topping stays cold. Okay? Yum, yum, yum. Thank you, nieces and nephews, for hanging out with your auntie while she made this berry hokey pokey. Some of you may call it a berry poke cake, chantilly, whatever you call it, poke cake. I call it my berry hokey pokey, okay? So, until the next upload, guys, see you. Go be you, but be great being you. Hugs, kisses, and lots of love to all of you. Please hit that like button if you please. It'll really do auntie a good favor, okay? I know I'm not on here 7 days a week, so you know. Okay. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, love you guys. Bye.